Hi, this is Building Vocabulary Skills, Chapter 3. I'm going to read the words. Delete, impartial, integrity, legitimate, lenient, menace, morale, naive, overt, undermine. The first word is delete. It's a verb. When I accidentally deleted several paragraphs of my research paper from the computer, it took 10 minutes to retype them. The invitation list is too long. Unless we delete a few names, the party will be too crowded. This means to get rid of. It's a pretty common word we use on the computer most of the time. The next word is impartial. It's an adjective. The first sentence says, too much publicity before a trial makes it difficult for lawyers to find impartial jurors, people with no opinion about the case. And the second, I'm an impartial judge of character, Dolores joked. I distrust all people equally without prejudice. Impartial means fair. In this case, it means you're a fair person. So judges, juries are supposed to be impartial. They're not supposed to have an opinion one way or the other. Teachers should also be impartial. They should grade students' papers on a fair basis. The third word is integrity. It's a noun. Our boss trusts Ramon with the key to the cash register because she knows that he has integrity. I thought our senator had integrity, so I was shocked to hear that she had taken a bribe. It means honesty. But it's not just honesty, it's a sense of character within somebody that makes them do the right thing. So you would say somebody has integrity. He has integrity. He never lies. He's an honest person. He would never take a bribe. He would never cheat or steal. So it's more than just honesty. The next word is legitimate. It's an adjective. I need to see the final episode in your favorite soap opera, said the teacher, is not a legitimate excuse for missing class. Any company that guarantees to make all investors millionaires can't possibly be legitimate. This word means legal. So you could have a legitimate heir to inherit something if somebody passes away. You could be the legitimate owner of a house or a car or something like that. You could also, as in sentence 1, say it's a legitimate excuse. It's not necessarily a legal excuse, but it's a real excuse. A legitimate excuse for being late would be that there was an accident and so traffic was bad on the highway. The next word is lenient. It's an adjective. Miss Hall is very lenient about late papers. If you hand one in even a week late, she doesn't lower your grade. Mom wouldn't let us feed our poodle during dinner, but Dad, who was more lenient, would look the other way when we slipped the dog something under the table. This means easygoing. Lenient is the opposite of strict. Somebody who's lenient is going to let things go a little bit more easily than somebody who's strict. The next word is menace. It's a noun. Acid rain is the biggest menace to the survival of freshwater fish. Ron's impatient attitude and his fast zigzag driving make him a menace on the road. This word means danger. It's kind of hard to use sometimes. You would say drugs are a menace to society. Guns can be a menace to society. Somebody's driving can be a menace. So you would say a menace. The next word is morale. It's a noun. Art class was good for Tyrone's morale. Each time the teacher praised his drawings, his confidence and enthusiasm increased. The workers' morale was so low that they constantly complained about the job. The only good part of the day was quitting time. Morale is spirit. This is different than the word moral, which means good character. Morale means the spirit of a company or a classroom. So your work morale, the job morale can be great. People can be happy about their job. They can be satisfied with their coworkers and the boss. Or the opposite, it can be low. If work morale is bad, then people don't like the job and they want to quit. The same could be said for, say, a classroom or even family in some cases. Or your own morale can be positive or negative depending on situations. The next word is naive. It's an adjective. Though young, Rhoda is not naive. Being on her own for so long has made her streetwise. Having had little experience with salespeople, my younger sister is so naive that she believes everything they tell her. This word means lacking experience. People can be taken advantage of easily if they're naive. So, for example, if somebody says, give me money and I'll give you whatever later, that a naive person would give them the money now. Or if a person who's naive gets an email promising them $1 million, if they send in 1,000, they're probably going to send in the $1,000. The next word is overt. It's an adjective. Sometimes overt racism is easier to deal with than the hidden kind. You can better fight what's happening out in the open. You can better fight what is out in the open. Maya's love of reading was overt. Books spilled over the shelves in every room of her apartment. It means obvious. Overt and covert are opposites. So overt means out in the open, it's obvious, everybody can see it. Like the second example of the books being all over the place, it's obvious that she likes books. The last word is undermine. It's a verb. Leroy tried to undermine the coach's authority by making jokes about him behind his back. And the second, numerous floods had undermined the foundation so greatly that the house was no longer safe. Undermine means to weaken. It's often used when one person talks about another or about a company or about a school or something like that, kind of behind their back, and then it does damage to the person that they're talking about. So you could say he undermined his company by saying how bad it was, so he got fired. Or she undermined her teacher by saying how bad the teacher was and the teacher wasn't fair. So it means to weaken. Buildings and other things can be undermined as well, but it's typically about people or companies. Okay, that's it for Chapter 3. Go ahead and finish the chapter in the book. Thanks.